The following is a lecture on the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 27, Text number 13, Deity Form of Lord, given by Shriman KratuDas Adhikari, recorded on July 6, 2013, in Vancouver.
Chala chaleti dvividha pratishtha jiva mandire udvas avahane nasta sthirayam uddhava archane. The deity form of the Lord, who is the shelter of all living entities, can be established in two ways, temporary or permanent. But a permanent deity, having been called, can never be sent away, my dear Uddhav. So, Lord Sri Krishna is addressing Uddhava about the process of deity worship. He is saying here that Chala Chaleti, Chal and Achal. Chal means can be sent away. Deity can go away, back. And Achala, Achal means cannot. Chal means, Chalna means walking. Chal. So walk away and walk in. Meaning the permanently installed deity cannot be sent away. Vividha, these are the two kinds of deity form. So, Chal deity means when you want to have sense gratification, asking for the boon for sense gratification from the deity, then you invoke the presence of the Lord in a particular thing like betel nut sometimes, or by some other form that are mentioned earlier, sand, paint, lipya, lohya, manomayi, manimayi. All these are different material things in which we can invoke Lord Krishna's presence. Then it becomes deity, direct, the sakshat, invocation. You invoke the presence of the Lord. In other words, deity becomes Lord himself. Just like a dead body. And then when you put soul into dead body, the dead body becomes live and becomes into being. Into being. So same thing here. The transcendental presence can be invoked into different material elements called Saili, stone, Darumai, wood, Lohi, metal, Lepya, sandalwood paste or other substances like that. Lekhya, painted, Lekhya, Saikati, made of sand, Manomayi, in the mind, Manomayi and Manimayi, with different jewels. So this can be called as matter, all of these different items that we can make deity out of. But then we have to invoke the presence of the Lord. Pratishtha. The word pratishtha is used here. Prana pratishtha. Prana means prana, apan, a different life here. Means soul. So, prana and pratishtha. In these different forms of deity, we invoke the presence of Lord through Guru Parampara, through mantras, Vedic mantras, through process, through Bhagavat Vidhi or Pancharatri ki Vidhi, mainly Pancharatri ki Vidhi. We invoke the presence of the Lord. So this is the whole process. So Prabhupada is saying very crystal clearly in the purport that there are Jnanis, impersonalists, Mayavadis, who invoke the presence of the Lord in the deity form. Then there are Karmis, who invoke the presence of the Lord in the deity form. And there are devotees of the Lord, who invoke the presence of the Lord. But there is a gulf of difference between all these different spiritualists or materialists. Karmis are materialists. So first he says that Jnanis, impersonalists, Mayavadis, they invoke the presence of the Lord in the deity for temporary, chala, achala, chal, temporary. So once they become God themselves, then they kick the deity. The deity is a matter. Or sometimes if they are more nicer, then they send away the presence of Lord. They send away the Lord, which is here, it's called Udvas and Avahan. Avahan, descending God, Krishna descends and he resides in the deity form, Avahan. And then sending away, Udvas. So these impersonalists, Mayavadis, when they themselves become pure and pratisthit, and people, they believe in him to be a great Mahatma, they become God themselves. And then, Hare Krishna, deity form, please go back where you came from. And same thing is done by Karmis. The Karma Kanda, they invoke the presence of all demigods into different things, such as betel nuts or stone or grains or all this different form that is mentioned earlier. They invoke the presence of Indra, Chandra, Surya and demigods and Lord Shiva and then Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. They invoke the presence, Brahmins, for worshipping them temporarily. And when the worship is over, then they send these deities back to their abode. Indra back to Swarga and Chandra back to Chandraloka and Vishnu back to Vaikuntha, like that. So when their personal motivation is fulfilled, then they don't want to have burden of worshipping the deity anymore. So, like if anybody has seen on TV or anybody who is seen in India, Ganapati Chauth, a Ganapati, big, huge Ganapati deity, beautiful, beautiful deity. They invoke the presence of Ganesh, and at the last day after 7 days, they send away Ganesh back to his abode, and the deity they carry to the water, maybe lake, river, and then they throw deity into river. So many heaps and heaps and heaps of deities they throw into the water, almost like becomes a mountain, big, big deities. So they send away, because our worship and our sense gratification, our material desires are fulfilled. Now we don't want to have burden of worshipping you anymore. So Hare Krishna, bye bye. So there are mantras by which you can send away the demigods and God, Krishna and Everybody can send away with the mantras. You can bring them with the mantras. Avahana. You can bring them and make them reside in the deity. But Prabhupada says that last part, he says, the devotees of the Lord who are unmotivated and want to have uninterrupted devotional service to Krishna. Out of love, they want to worship, honor, and reciprocate with their Lord. So that is called Achala, deity, Achala. In other words, Pran Pratisthit, deity form, which cannot be sent away. An earlier purport, I think, for coming, Prabhupada is saying that certain stones are directly Supreme Personality of Godhead, like Salingram, Govardhan Sila, Narsimha Sila, certain, and Lord Shiva in Narmada, in Gujarat. Whatever stone is there in that river, unlimited stones are there in that river, are called Lord Shiva, and you don't need to have a prana pratishtha or install them. You don't need to install them. They are, all the stones are, and you cannot send them away also, Prabhupada says. You don't have to invoke and you don't have to send away. You cannot send away. They are Lord Shiva. And same thing with Gandaki river. Whatever stones are there in river Gandaki in Nepal nowadays, old days India, in that river, whatever stones are there, they are Narayan, Vishnu, Krishna. You don't have to invoke the presence with the mantra, you cannot send them away. The Sila is Krishna. And same thing with Govardhan Sila is Krishna. Same thing with Narsimha Sila is Narsingadeva. It is not stone. It is not stone. Why? Because we have to see the story and history and katha behind it. Behind it. Lord became Salingram. He became that stone. Whatever appearance Krishna has, that appearance became null and void, and he incarnated, or he entered, or he became stone. He became stone. Like Govardhan. He became Govardhan. He became. Is Krishna, none other than Krishna. Tulsi Devi's Yakhan, if you hear Tulsi Devi's, and Tulsi Devi became plant, and Krishna became stone. There is a big, huge katha behind it. But in short, Tulsi Devi became plant, and Lord became stone. He wanted to hide from Viraja, Sakhi, and other Sakhi of Radharani, and Krishna wanted to hide himself. So he hid himself into stone in river Gandaki. And that's why those stone is Krishna, none other than Krishna. And he cannot send them away. Can send Krishna away. And Tulsi Devi is Vrinda Devi. She is directly personality. It's not a plant. It is Vrinda Devi. It is Tulsi. You cannot send away Tulsi from plant. Okay, Tulsi Devi, you please go back to Vaikuntha. Golok Vrindavan, sorry. You cannot do that. So that is a Pratishtha, Pratisthit deity, Achala deity, that devotee always worship perpetually. Prabhupada uses the word perpetually. So, Sri Radhanath is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is directly Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is our mode of worship. There are so many different mode of worship in Vaishnavism. So many. And our Gaudiya Vaishnava mode of worship of deity is Aradhyo Bhagavan Vraje Satanaya Taddhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kvachitupasana. Upasana, worship, mode of worship is Ramya Kvachitupasana. Aradhyo, Aradhana, worshipping, Radha word, the seed, Radha, Aradhayati, Radha, one who worship means Radha. Radha meaning one who worships. Radharani is first class, topmost class worshipper of Krishna. So Radhayati. So Radha Bij, word Bij, means Aradhana, means worshipping. So Aradhyo Vraje Satanaya. Our mode of worship, Aradhyo, Aradhana. Our mode of worship is that we have to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Vraje Satanaya. No other meaning, no other personality, but one who is son of Vraja Isha. Nanda Mahraj is Vrajesh, and Tanaya means his son. Nanda Maharaj's son, Krishna. Why he didn't use the word Krishna there? Because he wanted this Mat Manjusha, written by Jagadananda Pandit, I believe. So he used the word Vrajesa Tanaya to introduce Krishna. Which Krishna one must worship? Then that Krishna, who is the son of Nanda Maharaj, who is the son of Jasoda, that Krishna one must worship. Aradhyo Vrajesa Tanaya. So worshipping only Krishna, just Krishna, only Krishna, is no good. It's not good. Sometimes devotees, they worship Laddu Gopal, just Krishna. And that mode of worship is no good. You have to worship Krishna along with Vrindavan. Aradhyo Vraje Satanaya Taddham Vrindavanam. Along with Vrindavan means Radharani, means inhabitants of Vrindavan, means whole Vrindavan Dham. You have to worship. You cannot separate Krishna from Vrindavan. If you separate Krishna from Vrindavan Dham, Krishna will be very, very morose, unhappy, very in a separation, like he was in Mathura. He went away to Mathura and he was so much depressed. Krishna was so much depressed. And he said, please Uddhava, please go to Vrindavan. Please console the inhabitants, my father, my mother, Radharani, my gopi girlfriends, and my boyfriends, and so much distress. If you separate Krishna from Vrindavan, very, very unhappy situation for Krishna. So we have to worship Krishna along with Vrindavan. Aradhyo Vrajesha Tanaya Taddhama Vrindavanam. And which mode of worship is the best? We have to Aradhana Krishna. We have to worship Krishna. But which mode of worship is the best? So it is stated, Ramya Kvachit Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Va Kalpita. The way Vrajavadu worship Krishna with Raganuk, spontaneous Raganuk Bhakti. Raganuk Bhakti. We have to worship Krishna in spontaneous, loving attraction. So, Vraja Sataniya Taddhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kvachit Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Va Kalpita. The way gopis worship, the gopi bhav, the way gopi had bhav, the way gopi worship Krishna in their Gopi Bhav. Gopi Bhav means very simple. Tat sukhe sukhitvam. Tat dukhe dukhitvam. Iti priti lakshanam. Gopis, they became jubilant in the happiness of Krishna. When Krishna was happy, they were most happy. Like blossom, lotus, flower. All gopis in company of Krishna, Radharani in company of Krishna, she is like a lotus flower which is fully blossomed. Saradu sadhu jata sat sarasi jodara srim rishadrisha suratanathate asulka dasika varada nignato neha kim vada. This is a mode of worship. That, my dear Lord, are you not killing us by not present, by not being not present in front of us? You just departed, you just went away. This is not killing to us. We vada, kim vada. So please you. So this is when Krishna went away, they were so much distress, so much depression, so much intense vipralamba, rag was experienced by these gopis. So this is raganuk bhakti, spontaneously intense love for the Lord. In happiness, in His company, in His happiness, they are happy, and in their distress, they were very distressful. So this is the mode of worship, Ramya Kvachit Upasana. Gopi, our Gaudiya Vaishnava mode of Upasana is that we have to not just worship Krishna, but we have to worship Krishna along with Radharani. We don't have to worship Krishna along with Radharani. It is wrong. But we have to worship Radha, Krishna with Gaurang Mahaprabhu. Like we have set up, beautiful setup here. Gaur, Radha, Radha Kant. So this is our worship. Gaur, Radha, Radha Kant. Gaur, Radha Krishna Upasana. So this worship is Gaudiya Vaishnava mood, the Rupa Goswami's mood of worshipping Radha Krishna, is that we have to follow Manjaris. We have to follow one of the Nitya Siddha devotees, Parikar of Lord Krishna. We have to follow them. That is called Raganuk Bhakti. That Rupa Goswami is instructing us in Nectar of Instruction, 8th verse. He says, Tam Nam Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smartyo Rasana Manasi Niyojet Tistan Raje Tad Anuragi Jana Anugami. Again, Tistan Raje Tad Anuragi Jana Anugami Kalam Akhilam Niyes Iti Upadeshasaram. This is the instruction of Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Instruction. 8th verse is the real instruction that one has to worship the Lord, Braje, just like his worship in Braj. Krishna cannot be taken out of Braj for worshipping. Tistan Braje, Tad Anuragi. Anuragi. Krishna's Anuragi Bhakta, the devotee who is Anuragi Bhakta of Krishna. Uddhava, Gopis, and so, Nand Maharaj, Jasoda. But parental, not all these other friendship, parental, the Madhurya. worship. And Madhurya worship was enacted by Vrajavadhu, by gopis. So, tad anuragi jana anugami. We have to follow the devotee in Vraj, who is Nitya Siddha, devotee of Lord, and that is Rupa Goswami, and we are called Rupa Nuga. We are called Rupa Nuga. So our mode of worship is Rupa Anug, Raga Anug, Rupa Anug, mode of worship. And Rupa Goswami's Nitya Siddha Deha is Rupa Manjari. She is Rupa Manjari. Rupa Manjari is assistant of Lalita Sakhi, assisting Lalita. And Lalita Sakhi is assisting Radharani. And Radharani, Radha, Aradhana, she is worshipping Krishna in Madhurya, Vipralamba, Madhurya, Bhav. Madhurya Bhav, Manjari, the Nitya Siddha, Deha, Manjari, Rupa Manjari. So all these Sat Goswamis, Nitya Siddha Deha was Manjari. They were assisting Rupa Manjari. So, Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, Sei Mura Sampada, Sei Mura Bhajana, Pujana. Pujan, the worshipping, mode of worshipping is following Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari. Bhajana, Pujana, Sei Mura Mantra Siddhi, Sei Vedera Dharma, everything, Rupa Manjari. And that's why we pray to Tulsi Devi every day. We don't realize, but we pray every day when we have a Tulsi Aarti. That Murai Vilas, Vilas Kunje Diyovas, Nayane Heribo Sada Jugala Rupa Rasi. Ei Nivedana. So, Mera Murai Abhilas, my desire is that please, Tulsi Devi, grant me the residence in the pleasure groves of Vrindavan. What happens in pleasure groves of Vrindavan? Intimate, most intimate pastimes of Krishna. Krishna being worshipped by Radharani. Radharani is giving pleasure to Krishna by worshipping him in pleasure groves of Vrindavan. Intimate pastime, very close intimate pastimes. So please give me, grant me. So being in Nikunja, Kunja means Manjari. Nobody can have an entrance into Kunja, Nikunja. Pleasure groves of Vrindavan. The Sakhis, Lalita, Vishakha, Indulekha, Champaklata, Tungvidya, Sridevi, Rangadevi, etc., Chitra. All this because they are equal age with Radharani. And Radharani is intimately associating with Krishna. So the young girls, very small, 8, 10, 12 years girl before puberty, they are very innocent by heart. They can enter into the pleasure groves of Vrindavan. So that is what we are praying. Vilas kunje diyovas, nikunja yuno ratikeli siddhe, yayalir bir yuktir apekshaniya, tatrati dakshad ativallabhasya, vande guru sri charanaravinda. Nikunja yuno worship. Gurudev is worshipping Radha Krishna in Nikunja. Nikunja yuno ratikeli siddhe. So Nikunja. So this Rupa Manjari and Vilas Manjari and so many Manjaris, Manjulali Manjari and Rati Manjari, Rag Manjari, all these Sat Goswamis, Prem Manjari, Bhugarb Goswami. So this is what it means, Nikunja, Tulsi Devi, we are praying that ei nivedana dharo, sakhir anugata karo. Sakhir anugat means manjaris are the sakhis anugat. Sakhis are same 16, like Radharani, 16 years age. Sakhi anugat, we have to follow. Sakhir anugata means manjari. Sakhir anu ei nivedana dharo, sakhir anugata karo, seva adhikara diyo. Seva adhikara diyo, karo nija dasi. Vrinda Devi's dasi, manjari form. Karo nija dasi. What is that first line and second? Second line. ए तुम्हारा शरण लोय तारा वांछा पूर्ण होय कृपा करी करो तारे Vrindavan Vasi. So Vrindavan, we have to become Vrindavan Vasi. Means that Gopi Bhav, that Madhurya Prem. We are asking this to Tulsi Devi every day. Vrindavan. Vrajavas means Raganuk. Vrajavas means Raganuk Bhakti. No other modes of devotion. Vrajavasi, Vrindavan Vasi means Raganuk Bhakti. And that is exactly what Rupa Goswami gives in Nectar of Instruction. He says, Tad Anuragi Jana Anugami. 8th verse. Tad Anuragi. Krishna Anuragi Bhakta. That is Parikar of Krishna. And they are Ragatmik Bhakta. And one who follows Ragatmik Nitya Siddha Parikar of Krishna, Ragatmik, called Raganug Bhakta. So we are all Raganug. Ragatmik, Nitya Siddha. They are Nitya Siddhas. Like Gopis, Radharani, and Uddhavaji, and Nand Maharaj, Jasoda, and unlimited Ragatmik Bhakta. They never leave Vrindavan. Krishna also never lived Vrindavan. Vrindavan paritajya na padam ekam abhigacchati. By leaving Vrindavan, not even one single step Krishna takes out of Vrindavan. Why? Because of this Raganuk Bhakta, Raganuk devotees. So, this is our mode of worship. Tad Anuragi Jana Anugami. We have to become Anugami, followers of those Nitya Siddha Bhakta. Rupa Goswami, Rupanug Bhakta. So, this is the mode of worship, our mode of worship. Gaudiya Vaishnava, mode of worship. No parental like Laddu Gopal, or not just Krishna like Ranchor Rai, or Tirupati Balaji, or so many deities are just by Krishna himself at Udupi, Madhvacharya, just Krishna, but along with Radharani. But not just Radha Krishna, along with Gaurang Mahaprabhu. These three deities has to be there in order to worship the way Rupa Goswami and our Acharya said. And that is the mode of worship. And these deities are our life and soul. We cannot send them away. Pran Pratishta. Pratishta we did, and it is Achala. No Chala. Achala. Fixed. Sri Radha Radhanath will stay here for eternity, for long time. So this is Achala deity. You cannot move these deities. Sometimes it happened that Achala deity had to be moved from Vrindavan, like Govindev and Gopinath and Madan Mohan, Karoli and Jaipur, and because of the invasion of Muslim kings. But they were worshipped. They are worshipped in a royal way in Jaipur. They may like it or they may not like to live Vrindavan, but Jaipur is another Vrindavan. Wherever they go, they make Vrindavan because they are worshipped in the mood of Vrindavan. So this is our mode of deity worship, Jiva Mandiram. This is the mood. O Uddhava, this is the mood of worship. The devotees, they worship deity in a raganuga way. And Prabhupada says that very crystal clearly in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Those who worship deity form of Radha Krishna, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, they will develop that Raganuk Bhakti, spontaneous attraction, spontaneous, out of love and devotion and spontaneous love and attraction, they will worship Radha Krishna. The Acharyas, their prayers is how deity gets installed. Fine, we use Pancharatra, Vedic mantras to invoke his presence, but real way of installing deity is that present Acharya, Prabhupada, and then line all the way to Brahma, the disciplic succession, their prayers gets the deity installed. Their prayers, when they all very, very dearmost devotees to Krishna, when they pray, then Krishna has to come. So Prabhupada can just say one word, Krishna come, and he gets installed. Good enough. If he's an Acharya, and Krishna loves that Acharya, of course Krishna loves all Acharya, but it's a loving reciprocation with Acharya and Krishna. That is what makes deity installed. And then ceremony, if there is some elaborate ceremony, fine. If there is no elaborate ceremony and Prabhupada says, okay, deity is installed, it's finished. Krishna is God installed. Because Prabhupada said it. It is up to Prabhupada. Even though you make so many mantras, you do so many ceremony in mantra, and Prabhupada says no, it's not installed, then it's not installed. Even if you say so. So this is the secret of deity installation, that we have to pray to our Acharya, and they can pray to the Lord to come and dwell in the deity form. And they become. Lord becomes deity. Vrindavan Das Thakur biography. Veda Vyaso, this is his mantra, his pranam mantra. Veda Vyaso ya evesit daso vrinda vanodhuna sakhyaya sukumapita karyatastam samavisat. Ved Vyas became Vrindavan Das Thakur, Krishna's friend. Kusumapid also entered into him for special purposes. Gaur Ganodesh Deepika 109. You know Gaur Ganodesh Deepika. All devotees, their eternal form is mentioned in Krishna Leela. Whoever came in Gaur Leela. So he is Ved Vyas. Vrindavan Das Thakur is Ved Vyas and also Krishna's friend called Kusumapid. These two are combined, incarnated into Vrindavan Das Thakur, just like Radharani and Krishna. The same is Lord Chaitanya. Two became Lord Chaitanya. So here two becomes Vrindavan Das KratuDas. Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavan Das writes Chaitanya Bhagavat. Because of the copious blessings he received from Nityanand Prabhu, Vrindavan Das is said to have been his initiated disciple. So Vrindavan Das Thakur was initiated disciple of who? Nityanand Prabhu. Vrindavan Das is the recipient of Nityanand's blessings. He is the original Vyas of Chaitanya's pastimes. Chaitanya Charitamrita 3:20-82. He wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat in 1535 AD. KratuDas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, has written the following in the praise of Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavan Das, the son of Narayani, wrote the Chaitanya Mangal. Vedavyas described Krishna's life in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and Vrindavan Das is the Vyas of Chaitanya Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita 1:11:54-5. Just as Vyasadeva compiled Lord Krishna's pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam, Thakur Vrindavan Das depicted Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. His Chaitanya Mangal he annihilates all misfortune from it. I learned the wonder of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda and came to know all the most subtle doctrines of devotional service to Krishna. Vrindavan Das Thakur has summarized the essence of the teachings of the Srimad Bhagavatam in his Chaitanya Mangal. If even a Muslim or an atheist should listen to Chaitanya Mangal, he immediately becomes a great Vaishnava. An ordinary human being could not have composed such a sublime work. Lord Chaitanya himself has spoken through the mouth of Vrindavan Das Thakur. I offer millions of obeisances unto the lotus feet of Vrindavan Das Thakur, who has delivered the entire universe through his books. He was born in the womb of Narayani, who eternally enjoys Sri Chaitanya's remnants. How wonderful is his description of the activities of the Lord, simply by hearing which the three world have become sanctified. Chaitanya Charitamrita 1:8-34-42. Vrindavan Das becomes so absorbed in the description of Nityananda Prabhu's Leela that he did not elaborately relate all of Mahaprabhu's activities, only summarizing them in abbreviated form. KratuDas then elaborated on these undescribed activities in his Chaitanya Charitamrita. Vrindavan Das, the authorized biographer of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and equal to Sri Vyasadeva, he has described the Lord's pastimes in such a way as to make them sweeter and sweeter. I shall try as far as possible to fill in the accounts he left out of fear of excessively enlarging his book, Chaitanya Charitamrita 1.13.48.9. Vrindavan Das' criticism of Vaishnava Aparadha. Very important. Okay, so Vrindavan Das Thakur is describing how detrimental and how devastating Vaishnava Aparadha are. Vrindavan Das, primarily Mahaprabhu's early activities such as his pastime as a student, his childhood, his chastisement of the Kaji, his departure from Navadvip, as well as some aspect of his life in Puri, Vrindavan Das Thakur demonstrated infinite mercy on the fallen souls by warning them. So Vrindavan Das Thakur are warning to Vaishnavas about making Vaishnava Aparadha, how bad it is. Eta parihase oje papi ninda kare tabe lathi maron tar sirera upare. Translation: even after being told how objectionable it is if someone still blasphemes the Vaishnavas, then I will kick him in the head with the stick. Narottam Das Thakur says, I will kick him on the head. Whose head he will kick? Or whose head he will beat? Very good. These same words are repeated in the Adi, Madhya and Antya Khand of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Some foolish and arrogant persons misunderstand such statements and criticize Vrindavan Das Thakur for having made them. Vrindavan Das Thakur made this criticism of those who will blaspheme the devotees. So other people, they criticize Vrindavan Das Thakur to criticize those people who are blaspheming the Vaishnavas for having made them. Such criticism leads them into the mud of offensiveness. In this connection, the remarks of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the founder of the Sri Chaitanya Mutt and all the Gaudiya Mutts, are well worth studying. So this is spoken by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and we are supposed to study this. What he is saying? The Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is saying, I am ready to kick the head of those envious and hellish persons who blaspheme Nityananda Prabhu, if by so doing I will be able to forever prevent them from repeating their attempts to show disrespect for the Supreme Lord. Not only that, but if by so doing I can bring about a Sriya concept of the truth, I will be performing them the greatest service. That means Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur will perform greatest service by beating them. He will be doing greatest service. So says Vrindavan.
In the first class you gave, and even some of the verses were saying, or were stressing, second initiation, to be Dvija, twice born.
Yes.
But I was just thinking, and even installation of the deity. In our movement, we have many devotees who worship deities. They are not second initiated, nor are the deities installed, through some process or authorized by some spiritual authority. What is the quality of that worship? And in some cases, like when Vijay Prabhu gave his first class on the first verse of this chapter, he told us a story about a criminal who became a devotee, and eventually the police caught him, and he submitted to all his criminal activities, and he went to jail. But he was not initiated or anything. But while in jail, he made deities of Radha Krishna from dirt, and he was offering whatever food was given and sharing it with the prisoners. So, we get a case like this, a person who is not initiated but sincere at heart, worshipping Krishna. So, how do we understand all these?
Well, there is another process by which deity does get installed, or Krishna does come and resides in the deity. Even though it is not installed, no prana pratishtha, no avahan with the Vedic mantra or acharya or whatever. So, only thing is it takes long time to get deity to have Krishna come into the deity form. So if you keep worshipping for long time, then the deity automatically becomes installed. Prana Pratishtha, Krishna comes and resides. due to the devotion of that devotee. Whether there is no eternal condemnation. Even Sudra and even Malaysian, Yavanas, they are not eternally condemned. If they persevere deity worship in a form of a deity, then out of compassion, because every living entity is his part and parcel, and Krishna wants them all, whether he's Brahman or Grohe Thako, Vanne Thako, whether he's Naham, Lord Chaitanya says, I am not Grahastha, I am not Sannyasi, I am not Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Das Dasanudas. So the point I am making is, deity does get installed if you keep worshipping deity with love and devotion for a long time, then deity automatically gets installed. So that injunction is also there. But we should follow the injunction of Shastra that one should be Brahman initiated into Gayatri Mantra in order to worship the deity. We should follow this Pancharatrika Vidhi. That is Bhagavat Vidhi. That he gets installed. Like I said, Prabhupada said, Jagannath become installed. It was merely by Prabhupada offering puja. Bhagavat Vidhi. That is Bhagavat, spontaneous. Krishna's love with his living entity. Eternal connection of living entity with Krishna. Krishna wants them. Krishna wants to see that they worship me. They serve me. So whatever mode somebody is in, Malacha, Yavana, or below Varnashram, Krishna bestows mercy to all living entity. He is equal to Samoham Sarvabhuteshu Namedveshu Astina Priya Ye Bhajanti Tumam Bhaktya Mahite Te Suchapyaham Samoham. Those who worship me, I am in them and they are in me. Whether they are Brahman or Kshatriya, Sudra, no, whatever walks of life. But they are living entity, they are spiritual, they are part and parcel of Krishna. And Krishna wants them all. Krishna wants them all. Body is born in Brahman or Varnashram or not, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Muslim, Christian, or some tribal, whatever, it gets installed like that. Thank you very much. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam.